Hey y'all, it's Nikki. I have to tell you about Tecovas boots. I finally have a pair and they're handmade, high quality, stylish, and comfortable. I even got them customized with leather stamping. The folks at Tecovas will help you find just the right pair. So swing by for yours at the Tecovas flagship on South Congress or their store at the Domain. Plus, good news, they just opened a new store in Georgetown at 709 Main Street for those of y'all that live a little further north. So come shop with me at Tecovas. That's TECOVAS.com. Don't go gently, y'all. Today on CityCast Austin, it's the Friday News Roundup. I'm here today with Hey Austin newsletter editor Kelsey Bradshaw and executive producer Eva Ruth Moravec, breaking down the headlines that caught our eyes this week. We're talking about the mighty Texas Longhorns, the effort to save historic buildings on East 12th Street, a new HEB, and what we doing this weekend. It's Friday, December 6th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hey, Ruth. Hey, Kelsey. Happy Friday.
Hi. Hello, hello.
So a lot of stuff happened this week, and we are going to dive right in. First of all, sports.
Yes.
Yeah, UT had a pretty good weekend last weekend, in case y'all missed it. UT crushed A&M. Eva Ruth, let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
I love sports.
That was so believable.
It was weird. It was weird coming out of my mouth.
I love sport.
You know, Anchorman, when he goes, I love Lamp.
I love Lamp. I love sport.
She loves sport.
I love Longhorn. Very much. I really love Longhorn. I had a great time watching the game. It was really fun. I don't know what happens when I see the burnt orange and the maroon on the field. It makes me very competitive, and I wanted to crush them, and I was screaming. I don't know football very well, but I know that we did it, and that we did really well. And
I know that we did it.
I have this vision of you being like, yes, 3 points. What is it? Touchdown!
Yeah, pretty much. I was pissing off my Aggie husband, but he made it through. I come from a family of Longhorns. I can't help it. It's just like there. And I remember going to these Thanksgivings. My aunt used to always have Thanksgiving in Austin. And I remember people always being in the front room watching the A&M UT game. And it was fun. These two teams have played each other so many times. So from 1915 to 2011, there was this annual rivalry. And then A&M left the Big 12, joined the SEC. And then now this year, with UT back in the SEC, we got to play them. And it was just excellent. I was very happy to have it back. And I was very happy that we won 17-7. Now we get to play in the SEC conference something or other this weekend against Georgia,
right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, which sounds scary. I don't know. Yeah. But just the social media, I will I can't. Longhorn drum major. I'm shouting out my favorites. She is crushing it. She is so cool. And she's got her little fringe on and she's just band nerding out and it's amazing. And then seeing the Longhorns singing the fight song in the locker room afterwards, why am I like this? I don't know, but I am. Here we go.
It's such a thing. It's something I knew about as a kid. I knew about this rivalry, and the last year, I graduated high school in 2012. So all of my friends who went to UT right after missed out on it by just a year. And I remember being like, oh, that sucks. It's such a Texas, it's ingrained in all of us kind of thing.
Yes.
It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal, y'all. I remember going to A&M. I've been to two A&M and Texas games, and it is it almost feels like you're being like taken over by body snatchers because you're in the thick of it. Everybody's yelling. You've got on orange. Everybody. It's a very like hive mind mob mentality. You're like, yeah. Like I'm just like, why am I screaming? Like I don't even know who the quarterback is. But it's like it's exciting. The first thing that before I ever went to UT, I hated A&M for no good reason other than the fact that my dad did. My dad was like, we don't like them.
Yep.
Do not wear maroon on these days. Like for no other reason other than that. So it started for me, and I think a lot of us, to your point, Kelsey, before we even got to an age where college was, was
even close by.
Yeah, was even close by. Yeah, it's a huge, huge deal. And to be back in that kind of like, it's been so long, old friend / enemies / you know what I mean? It's like I love a good rivalry, y'all. I just do. I love a good rivalry. I don't know if it's because, I don't know if it's nature or nurture, but I think it definitely has something to do with just like football and Friday Night Lights and you know what I mean? Like
all of it.
Your high school has a rival.
Totally.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like you start having rivals when you're in high school.
Yeah.
Well, and they're intense.
They're very intense.
Yeah.
So like my sisters, my mom, my grandmother, my great aunt, like cousins, uncles, aunts, everyone was a Longhorn except my great uncle, Uncle Buddy. Rest in peace, Uncle Buddy.
Shout out to Uncle Buddy.
He was an Aggie, and he wore his A&M hat at every single family get-together. And
listen,
I respect it. It's like,
love to see it.
You know what?
Well, I think that's what makes it special because they are just as rabid about being Aggies as we are about being Longhorns.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Aggies here, one more shout out to friend of the podcast, Avery Tomasco, because he was doing some shit talking, and he's an Aggie, and he was like, the drought's gonna end because the Longhorns will be crying so much.
Oh my God.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, come on, Avery.
Yeah.
Talk smack. If you're going to do it, do it. I love it. I love a good smack talker.
So to your point, they do. They get into it just as much. They're just as rabid. So fun.
But I also want to say something too, like, and this is not to bring everybody down or anything like that, but like years ago when they had that big bonfire and there was that big accident, like UT, it's like, yes, it's a rivalry, but like at the end of the day, there's also this weird kind of respect and love. And when that happened, I just remember Longhorns being like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, shout, like really like giving love to the 12th man and like really showing up in a way that was beautiful and wonderful. So it's like, yes, there is rivalry, but there's also this shared respect and I don't know. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I also love football. So
yeah.
I heard the coach got money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he gets a $150,000 bonus when they qualify for conference or championship game, something like that. And so with Georgia, I think if they win, he gets another one maybe.
It's like not a bad incentive.
No, sounds nice.
If Texas don't love nothing else, they love their football. They're going to put their money where their mouth is.
Totally. Yes.
I'm just saying.
I know. This will be tough. This will be a tough one with Georgia, but to get into this championship game first time back in the conference, very exciting. I'm proud of our Longhorns.
Yeah.
And all the people whose names I know, obviously, and I'm very fond of.
I mean, yeah, because sports.
Because sports.
Well, I'm betting it felt really good just to be back on, like, watching that game. It's so nostalgic. And that's, you know what I mean? It's nostalgic to be like, oh, shit, this is reminding me of, like, a time in my life that I haven't thought about in a long time. And I love that, too.
Yeah, me too.
Have you heard about the Better Way to get your blood tested in Austin? Better Way is a new Austin startup that's reimagining blood testing to make it friendly, convenient, and affordable. You might have seen it in the Wall Street Journal, NPR, and Texas Monthly. Now, instead of big vials of blood from your arm, it's a very small sample from your fingertip. It's a great alternative if you have issues with traditional blood draws. You can order for yourself or through your doctor. It's available at local pharmacies like H-E-B, People's, and Lake Hills. It's super convenient with evening and weekend times, and prices start just at $15. The samples go to the lab here in Austin, and you get a report sent to your phone in 1 to 2 days with easy-to-understand results. If it's been a while since your last blood test, or you just want to check in on your health, get 20% off of your first order with code CITY@betterway.com. That's CITY, C-I-T-Y, at betterway.com. Speaking about not thinking about things in a long time, a building that has not been thought of in a long time is in the news this week because they're about to try to demolish it. They're in the news. Next week, City Council is going to vote to designate 1500 East 12th Street as a City of Austin landmark to try to protect it from demolition. The building, which is, of course, owned by Dallas-based developer Eureka Holdings, it's sat at that intersection at 12th and Kamal for over 100 years. 100 years. It started out as like a German saloon and became a Black business. Like it's like a little corner used to be like a center for like Black business and life and all that good stuff, which is 12th Street. Period. Like that's just what that used to be the hub for Black people back in the day. That building, along with 36 other buildings along the 12th Street corridor, is set to be demolished. They're all owned by Eureka. They bought this one in 2016 and just let it go to shit. I think I'm getting this name wrong. I'm sure somebody will correct me. I think it's called skunking, when a developer will buy property in an underserved area and then just sit on it. They sit on it and let it, fall apart with the anticipation of gentrification happening. And Eureka Holdings has been doing that for years. They just bought up all of East 12th Street, knowing that eventually the whites would come and make
Stress.
and that, if you steal it, they will come.
That is good. Oh my God. That's really good.
And so, they're just systematically erasing Black culture. We know it. We've talked about it a lot. And their vision for East 12th Street includes no plans to preserve the history or heritage of the Black community that built and helped shape the city, but also not for nothing that we were relegated to back in the day because it was the bad side of town. Securing the designation requires a supermajority, so 9 of the 11 council members have to vote for it in order for them to save it. And this is just the beginning. They own like 36 buildings along 12th Street, and they're already giving out eviction notices to businesses, whole 9 yards. Yeah.
Well, I hope they get the designation. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be a difficult position. I mean, there's stories for years about neighbors being concerned about, that one holding company was concentrating this much property and uneasiness for years about what are they going to do. And now for them to have such a big concentration of it, that's power. Also, I read that they were involved in acquiring a right of way and being able to close the street that was unused and being a good neighbor, helping people, move around, pedestrians be safer, all of that. But so I don't know. I would be nervous, and I'm sure the people who have seen this happen over the years have been nervous. And it's one of those things that, but this is where if you own that much property in one area, then what you say really, what you do, you can.
That's it.
The city's going to have to negotiate with them. It feels like it's not a, I don't know, a clean cut, I say this and you do it. They're well, we got the keys. We've got all this land.
Yeah.
maybe not, we could
Right.
just sit on it again if we want to and let more shit, deteriorate further. And nobody wants that.
And the photos on Preservation Austin's
Yeah.
website of one of these buildings are like very damning. Like
Yeah.
this saloon, like a photo of it from 1930, from 2004. It looks great between 1930 and 2004, 74
Exactly.
years. It looks, the building is lovely looking. And then in 2015,
Yeah.
looks pretty good, could use some updates. And that's when, right after Eureka acquired it in 2016, right? And now it's absolutely falling apart. It's like covered in, there's like graffiti on it. The windows are messed up. It's lost its color. Things are falling off of the building. And it's so,
Yeah.
I think that's all they need to show
Yeah.
to see that these aren't people with the best
Good
interests of the
intentions.
community in mind.
They don't give a shit about the community. And the thing about it is it feels really shitty that it's like you come in, you see the writing on the wall, you buy up everything. You buy up everything quietly. Let it go to shit. And then, like, you offer crumbs. And that's what they've been doing. But when they know at the end of the day, they're just going to demolish it. That's it. They're going to bulldoze an entire history.
Well, and this whole thing of like, it's just business and this is the way things are and things, cities do change and change can be good and blah, blah, blah. Like all that stuff would be fine, I guess, if it was clear you had the community in mind, right? If you were doing something for good.
They're very clever in that it goes to waste, right? The building goes into disrepair, systemically, more people are unhoused. And so you're seeing more people in the neighborhood just like looking for a safe place to be, sometimes living in those buildings because they don't have anywhere to go. So then the developer could then be like, look, this isn't safe. They can convince some of the neighbors like, this isn't safe. Do you want this to be a district for your kids where there are bars and there are blah, blah, blah. They paint it in this way that's like, it used to be this place where there is crime and bars or do you want a safe place that's walkable for you and your kids and blah, 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 right? And people buy into it. And to that, I say, you moved into a neighborhood that already had a rich cultural history. You don't get to come in and be like, oh, that's so nice. Okay, but we don't want that anymore because for me, I need something different. It reeks of just privilege and I don't know, sadness. I don't know. It just bums me out, man.
Well, it's also like, I mean, from maybe the developer's perspective, it does take more resources to, do things piece by piece or like keep up that historic building instead of like Eureka is a holding company, and they develop a lot of like a lot of multifamily housing. And so like they own the building that Outer Heaven is in, which we've discussed previously. We have mixed feelings about, but that is along this 12th Street corridor. And it's an old building. It's an 80-year-old building. And that is apparently going to be become a luxury condo building. So you can kind of see like if this one company owns a big chunk, like almost like a domain sort of situation, where it's like, oh, all of a sudden this is a new area, instead of like fixing things one by one and like actually, paying homage to what they are and like reflecting the history and the culture and all of that, which takes more effort than just tearing stuff down and building a brand new whatever and, coming up with a whole plan, like as if this was starting from scratch,
Well, listen, it's not like people are not used to building things on the backs of Black people. So go ahead and like demolish everything and build on top of the rubble. And it's giving unseasoned and bland. And I am just over it. Like, not only are you building something else, you are intentionally building something that the people that are left in that community cannot afford.
Right.
So you are making very clear what your intention is. You are making very clear the type of person that you want to take over this area. And not a lot of times that type of person does not look like me or any of the people that made that side of town a side of town that you would want to live on.
It's like a more aggressive form of gentrification than just like the house by house by house that we've seen so much of, you know? And we've tried to stop in some ways, but, you know, you see that and it's almost like a little bit more understandable, like people are getting priced out. Like there's some humanity, I don't know, it still sucks a lot and it feels very ick, but like this doesn't even benefit people who are living there at all. You know, it's just replacement. It's just, you know, like you said, like
garbage.
Neglect until it's cheap enough to, you know, not have to keep up.
Well, you know what, Eureka? I wish you 1,000 paper cuts and
yeah, so if you're moved or you want to know more about it, I mean, honestly, Preservation Austin has a huge really great well documented, you know, call to action, and they're asking people to sign the petition and show up at council and speak on December 12th.
These are one of those times that you're just like, when you're looking for something easy that you can do to show up for your community or show up for people that you know that live in that community, or actually just show up, to Kelsey's point, to protect rich culture in the city, right? Like, this is how you show up. And, you know, speaking of showing up, if you need an example of what it looks like when a company shows up, just look at H-E-B, because H-E-B is known for stepping in and saving butts and taking care of us.
And Kelsey saw that firsthand.
No, yeah, literally. Okay, so if you didn't know, H-E-B just reopened a brand new, huge H-E-B grocery store at the intersection of Old Torf and South Congress Avenue. It was one of, if not the oldest H-E-B in Austin. The grocery store opened in like 1944, but it wasn't in the space where it is now. And then they moved into the space where it is now, I think in 1957. So like it's been there for a very long time, and they closed it in 2022, gave it a whole makeover. It's like 2 stories. They have 500 parking spots. There's like a 3-level parking garage. And I have never been to a grocery store with escalators in it, and I was having a great, great time. It's so fun.
Tell us how it works.
Okay, so you get on the escalator, and it's very clear. It's a one-body escalator. You cannot stand next to a person on it. That's important to know, I guess. And then next to it, they have a thing for your cart. So the cart goes up at the same time as you. And I'm just like, wow, I'm really living in the future. It's amazing. But so
yes,
they had this big ribbon cutting on Tuesday night, and it was so, so cool. Like, there were so many community members there. They gave away like 10 grand to the church across the street's food pantry. They gave 10 grand to HAM. They gave a bunch of money to a bunch of people. And like,
look at that.
We all
taking care of the community.
Yes. They've been in there doing construction for 2 years, probably annoying everyone. And they gave money to people, being like, here you go. Our bad.
Thanks for bearing with us.
Yeah, thanks for bearing with us.
Hope it's worth your while.
Father John, who's from the church across the street, the St. Ignatius Church, he was like, yeah, we're really happy this is over, when he gave his little speech, and it was really cute.
I bet.
But yeah, no, it opened to the public on Wednesday morning at 6 a.m., and people had been standing in the dark and in the rain and in the cold since midnight to be there at 6 a.m.
What?
Yeah. And there was like so much fanfare. Like Bevo, the mascot, was not an actual cow, but the guy in the costume, he was there.
Just a cow kicking it.
I think you mean Hook'em.
Oh, sorry. Hook'em was there. That's my bad.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry. I'm going to be like this the rest of the season, unfortunately.
I support you. I don't want to disrespect your culture. So thank you for correcting me. But yeah, no, it's humongous. It is gigantic. And it's really exciting. It's 145,000 square feet, and that's the biggest in Central Texas.
Damn.
It's
nice.
Huge.
I can't wait.
You could get lost. You could page your mom from far away in that one.
Yes, literally. It's huge. It's amazing.
I cannot wait.
And it's just, the reason people stand in line at midnight for an HEB is because of how they treat their community. Like, I know it's the tortillas, but I also think it's because of how they're involved in the community and care about the community and are like so tuned in. Like hearing these stories about like horrifying developers, it's like, hey man, it is possible to care and do good and make your money, right? It's not like HEB doesn't have money. But yeah, it opened. It's very exciting. Everyone should go. I love it. Hooray.
Look, I can't wait. I'm not going to lie to you. So I have a friend named Steph, two friends named Steph and Adam. They're a great married couple. They live right down the street from the HEB. And I am just like, I know for a fact that she's been like, what, okay, any day now. When is it opening back up? Because they had the temporary HEB in the tiny little strip mall.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever go into it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It was weird in there.
Depressing. Yeah. There's like low ceilings.
It was like a long, narrow hallway.
Yeah, it was very depressing. I did not like it.
Oh.
I had to go in there once, like when I thought I got stung by a bee. That's like a long story. But like I think that like it's just like it was, I don't know, it was given like horror movie.
Not to sound like super over the top about HEB, but like
I'll do it.
They fill a big food desert gap. And where they exist, it gives people access to like low-priced groceries, healthy food, fresh food, good food. Like the HEB brand is great. I mean, and it's life-changing to have a good grocery store nearby. So I'm glad they stayed there.
And they trained roughly 600 people to work at this HEB.
That's a lot. And also,
600.
HEB is finally getting the idea to incorporate alcohol with grocery shopping. I don't know if y'all have seen this, but like there's the Lake Austin one has a bar.
What?
And yeah, it's like a legit place to go.
Oh.
Like, so that's another in addition to, and you could take a little roadie with you, I think, through the store, which like sign me up for that. I freaking hate grocery shopping, but if I can like do it slightly buzzed, 1,000 times better.
Well, so they have a barbecue restaurant. I think it's True Texas Barbecue. It's pretty good. It's like been ranked by Texas Monthly and Thrillist as being a good barbecue chain.
Weird.
Which I did not know before I went to this ribbon cutting event. But they have that. And then we also like snuck around to the wine section.
Ooh.
And they have a thing where you can like test out the wine before buying it.
What?
So like...
Is there a bar in that one?
I didn't see a bar.
Okay, maybe that's just a Lake Austin thing.
It might be.
No, actually, there's one in Seguin as well, I will say.
Okay, we'll go to Seguin.
So what I'm hearing is that I need to get drunk and go to HEB.
Yes.
Or go to HEB to get drunk.
Yes.
Speaking of getting drunk, what y'all doing this weekend?
That was good.
Man, Nikki.
It took me a minute. I had to warm up.
You mean aside from going to the HEB bar?
Yeah. So I'm going to pregame at HEB. And then...
Yeah, we're going to start hearing that more and more. Okay, so let's pregame at HEB first.
I'm going to the Wizard Rodeo, which I am very excited about. It's one of those things that my good friends asked me to do some time ago. I put on my calendar and then it's like, surprise, it's here. What the hell is this? It's a festival. Central Texas Mycology is going to be there. It sounds dreamy and interesting, ethereal, if you will. There'll be a vintage market. So this is on Saturday, and I'm excited. I think it will be very different, and I'm, excited to see some good bands.
I cannot wait to hear about this.
I love live music. If there's somebody who's willing to put themselves on stage and do their thing, I support it, even if I have zero idea who these bands are. So my friends told me to go, and I am. Kelsey, what are you doing?
I support. I am going to Trail of Lights, and I'm really freaking excited. It's the 60th year for Trail of Lights at Zilker Park. If you somehow do not know what Trail of Lights is, it's 2 million plus lights and like holiday displays throughout Zilker Park, and you walk through it. You get a little hot chocolate, maybe a boozy hot chocolate. There's snacks, and it really is just one of those things that's just like wholesome and fun. And I love it. Like the holiday displays are mostly the same every single year. And it is fun to be like, there's my guys, those little fish who sing. I love them so much.
There's my guys.
But Trail of Lights, it's going to open on December 10th and it runs through the 23rd. And you should go. If you haven't gone, especially, you should go. And there are free nights too. Like the 10th through the 13th, it's free. The 16th through the 18th, it's free. But if you can't make it out to then, general admission's only $8. And that feels like one of the like last things in Austin where tickets are that cheap. I've never, that's pretty cheap ticket.
That's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so many people go, like,
oh yeah.
Thousands and thousands of people go every year. And it's just, it's fun.
Oh yeah.
You can see the skyline in the background
so
too.
Nice. And the tree, the Zilker tree.
Oh, on the moon tower. The moon tower is the center, is the star of the holiday tree.
Yes, and you go under it.
Okay, yeah, and you turn around, you twirl around till you get
twirl
sick.
around. Yeah.
It's so fun. I will say the one tip, if you ever listen to anything on this podcast that we tell you to do, it's to not drive to Trail of Lights.
Yeah.
You should try and ride share.
Yeah.
You should try and take some sort of public transportation. There's lots of bus routes that head that way. You should scoot, you should bike, you should walk. They also have a shuttle that will pick you up in South Austin at the Tony Berger Event Center. And that's $8 per person. And listen, I'm happy to spend another $8 to not deal.
It's a lot.
Getting there can be a little hard. So I highly recommend the shuttle or something. Don't try and park there. It's crazy.
And if you're not going and tend to use Mopac as a route any fucking where. Yeah. Just note to self, stay off of that for a while.
Yeah. Nikki, what are you doing?
I am tits deep in show prep for my show next week. And so my weekend this weekend is going to be a little light. So I am determined to visit at least one holiday pop-up a weekend, maybe two. It depends on if I'm feeling frisky. I already went to the Gibson Street Bar's Wonder Glam this week. It was so cute. I plan on going to Busy Signal because they have a holiday pop-up bar, and their drinks just look adorable. I mean, yes, the decor looks really cute. Yes, I love all of that. But for me, it's like I love a good holiday drink, and they have some, like one has a peppermint rim. I haven't been able to find the names of any of them, but they look delicious on the internet. And then probably Blue Genie Art Bazaar, to be honest, on Saturday during the day to get some like last minute gifts. But the thing that I'm most excited about is the Kentucky Puppy Christmas that's happening at Cabana Club.
Excuse me?
I just got goosebumps.
Yes, it's on Sunday. It's on the 8th, and it's a dog holiday costume contest. There will be a photo shoot with holiday cards. It's sponsored by Maker's Mark Whiskey. There'll be glass wax dipping. There's a vendor market pop-up. There's like Maker's Mark swag giveaway and all the donations. There's like a donation station for Austin Pets Alive. So that's the thing that I'm really excited about. I'm going to take Frankie on Sunday. I'm super excited.
Are you going to dress her up?
What's her costume going to be?
I have no idea, but I am going to dress her up. I don't know. She has a sweater. She already has like a holiday sweater. It's an Adidas holiday sweater.
Of course.
That says naughty on the back. But I think I want to find her like a proper, I might like take something of mine because she's so small. So I can like take something of mine and cut the sleeve off of it. And that can be her outfit. I've done it a million times. So Yeah, but but you can be a doggy holiday photo shoot.
That is so cute.
They'll turn it into a card for you. Yeah.
I love it.
That sounds fun. You need to get something, you need to be matching.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're absolutely going to match.
Definitely.
It's hard because she hates clothing. Like, I wish that my dog was a dog that was like, oh my God, look how cute I am in my little outfit. She hates it. She hates it.
My old dachshund, back when she was around, she was a little chunky girl.
Oh my God.
Little stuffed
So
sausage,
cute.
you know?
So cute.
And I got her this red sweater that had like this white heart on it. And the heart, it was like so stretched. It was hilarious. This heart was just like, you could see the lines, you know? And she also hated clothing. And one day just like started going after the sweater while it was on her and totally unraveled the sweater she was wearing. I was like, you know what?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Fine.
That's
bonus
Frankie.
points for that. Yeah.
She has to be like freshly groomed and like maybe kind of cold, and then she'll keep it on. But it's just like begrudgingly. She just is like, why do you have this on me? Get it off me immediately. She hates
because
it.
it's hilarious to dress dogs up.
No, I have a red turtleneck that Malcolm wears, and he looks like a literature professor when he has it on.
Yes.
Does he have glasses?
He needs glasses.
Yes.
And he doesn't care. I don't know if it's because he's just like fed up with life, but he's like, I'll wear it. It's fine.
Or he's like, finally, she sees me for who I am.
Oh, that's a better way to look at it.
Look, she gonna wear these outfits. She don't have a choice. I don't have children. You are who I get to dress up. She can deal with it.
Yes.
She gonna wear this dress.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm doing.
Great.
I'm going to wear this dress.
I sound like my grandma.
I'm looking forward to these holiday cards.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, if I do not get a holiday card with Frankie's picture, there will be a tantrum and screaming.
I support that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we go, I just wanted to do a quick RIP to someone. There's a queer POC organization called Algo. And for those of you that don't know about Algo, they are an amazing org that focuses on social justice, cultural arts, and health and wellness for the queer community. And their program manager, Brian Garcia, passed this week. And for those of you that have had the pleasure with working with Brian, you know how big of a loss this is. He was probably one of the most incredible, amazing, sweet humans I've ever met. Genuine and loving in the heart of the organization. And so a lot of people are missing him, and a lot of people are feeling this loss, and I am one of them. He was an absolute joy to work with. And so, Brian, we love you, we miss you, and, rest in power. Thanks for letting me do that.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a tough time for anyone who is missing someone this time of year also. So
I know holidays are hard. But once I get past this show, what I try to do every year, at least once, is have a hug it out happy hour. Normally it's around this time. And what I do is I just go to a bar and I say, hey guys, I'm going to be at this bar from this time to this time. If you need a hug, come to the bar, and I'm just giving out hugs.
yeah,
So I think I'm going to do that this year because people are having a hard time this year.
a little boost of serotonin.
Yeah, get some hugs in there. Speaking of hugs. Bye, y'all. No, I'm kidding. Thank you for rounding up the news with me this week. You guys are amazing.
So fun, so fun. Bye, Nikki.
Bye.
You guys are great. Bye, Ava Ruth. Bye, Kelsey. That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. Our executive producer is Eva Ruth Moravec. Our producers this week are Rishi Bajeko, Francisco Kilgore, and Selena C.A. Reynolds. And I'm your host, Nikki Devon. Our Hey Austin newsletter editor is Kelsey Bradshaw, and music is by Nelson Valente Aguilar of Como Las Movies. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Austin newsletter. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.